Once upon a time, on the coast of a quiet fishing village, life was peaceful and uneventful. That was until the storms began to brim. Year after year, the storms grew fiercer, the wind more violent, and the tides more relentless, lashing against the shore with an angry roar. The fishermen spoke in harsh tones of a legend, of a sea so furious it demanded tribute from the living. And among them was a young man named Kai, whose own father had vanished without a trace 5 years earlier. According to the villagers, he had been taken by a freak wave while out at sea. But Kai couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to his father's disappearance than met the eye. Then, one night, when thunder split the stormy sky, his net caught something strange, something heavy and unyielding. As the moonlight filtered through the churning waves, Kai saw what he had caught, a crown adorned with pearls and shells. It glowed with an erring light and seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the tide. Fear turned to curiosity, and curiosity turned to wonder as he realized he might hold the key to unravel the secret of the sea. With the crown in his possession, he sought out the village elders, a widowed man whose eyes held the wisdom of a life well lived. The elder listened intently as Kai recounted his discovery. When he finished, the elder's gaze turned distance, as if peering into the depths of time itself. "The crown," he finally said, his voice raspy with age, "is a relic of the past, a symbol of the power, and a reminder of betrayal." He told Kai the tale of Aquaman, a magnificent city that lay beneath the ocean, ruled by the just and kind queen. Her brother, consumed by envy, unleashed a forbidding magic that caused the kingdom, trapping everyone in the timeless bubble beneath the waves. Only the rightful bearer of the sea crown could break the curse, but doing so required a perilous journey through 3 abysses, each more treacherous than the last. The first was the Trench of Whisper. While the voices of the dead tried to lure an unsuspecting soul into madness, then came the Labyrinth of Tides, a shifting maze of living corals that could trap you forever. And finally, there was the Heart of the Deep, where an ancient sea dragon known as Leviathan stood guard. But before Kai could question the elder further, the sky rumbled and the ocean churned. The elder looked up, his face etched with concern. "The curse is weakening," he said grimly. "If it isn't broken before the next blood moon, aqualites will vanish, taking with it the ocean balance and flooding the land." Now it was up to Kai to decide. He could keep the crown and sell it to the highest bidder, perhaps for enough gold to save his struggling village from poverty, or he could risk his life to restore a kingdom that most people believed to be nothing but a fairy tale. He chose the later, haunted by the thought that his father's death might be tied to the curse. With the weight of the crown heavy on his head, Kai stepped forward as the moonlight bathed him in its silvery glow. The ocean beneath him rumbled and roared, parting like a curtain to reveal a shimmering tunnel of light. From the depths emerged a figure both beautiful and ethereal. Her hair flowed like seaweed, her skin shimmered like mother of pearl, and her eyes held the wisdom of the ages. "Greetings, Kai, son of Alar," she said, her voice echoing with the music of the sphere. "I am Marin, the spirit of the sea, and you have answered our call." She explained that the barrier protecting aqualites was falling. If the curse wasn't broken, soon the entire kingdom would be lost forever. Only the rightful heir to the throne could restore Neres's people, but they had to hurry. The blood moon was fast approaching, and with it the chance to break the curse would vanish along with it. Marin led him to the edge of the ocean, where a single seashell lay nestled in the sand. It shimmered with an entire and otherworldly glow and pulsed with a rhythm that matched Kai's heartbeats. "This," she said, "is the heart caller. Its song will guide you to the first abyss. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the beach, Kai tucked the seashell into his belt and ventured into the churning waves. The deeper he went, the darker the water became until it was black as ink. Suddenly, the silence was shattered by a chorus of voices, each more mournful than the last. They whispered of despair and beckoned with promises of sweet oblivion. But Kai pressed on, his determination fueling every step. When he reached the bottom, he found himself a vast cavern illuminated by an airy green glow. Before him stretched a tunnel, dark and foreboding. Taking a deep breath, Kai knew there was no turning back. He activated the heart collar, and soon its soft melody echoed through the cavern, guiding him ever forward. As he journeyed deeper into the earth, the sounds of the voices grew louder, their whisper muffled into a scream that echoed around him. But Kai remained resolute. His grip on the seashell tightened as he pushed forward.
Just when he thought he couldn't go on any longer, the tunnel opened up into a vast chamber. In the center stood a colossal squid, its tentacles reaching out like gravestone claws. But it wasn't the creature that stole Kyle's breath away. It was the sight that greeted him behind the beast. For there, shimmering in the distance, was the entrance to the second abyss. But before he could take a step closer, the squid launched, its tentacles right towards him, seeking to crush him like a bug. But Kyle was prepared. With the flick of his wrist, he hurled a harpoon at the creature. It struck through, sinking deep into the squid's flesh. The creature writhed in pain and retreated, slithering back into the darkness from which it came. Panting slightly, Kai made his way to the opening. He found himself in a vast underwater city, its spires and towers crafted from living coral and inhabited by wondrous sea creatures. It was beautiful beyond his wildest dreams. But his reverie was shattered by a sudden crash. He turned to see a giant wave bearing down on him, its crest towering high above him like a hungry beast. With nowhere to go, Kai braced for impact. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the coral, her form graceful yet regal. Her hair flowed around her like a golden waterfall, and her eyes sparkled with otherworldly light. The wave crashed against her, causing the coral around her to crumble. "Who are you?" Kai asked, rushing to her aid. "I am Lyra, Princess of Aqualinus," she replied. "And you, Kai, are my only hope," she explained. She explained that the crown he wore was the key to breaking the curse, but to reach the final abyss needed her help. Together they made their way through the labyrinth, dodging the shifting walls and avoiding the giant seahorses, whose playful nymphs could send you into a magical slumber that lasted for years. Finally, they reached the heart of the maze, where a colossal statue of a lion blocked their path. Lyra placed a hand on the statue and sang a haunting melody. The lion stirred, its eyes glowing with newfound life. It moved aside, allowing them to pass, and behind it, they saw the entrance to the third and the final abyss.
But before they could enter, a voice boomed, "Who dares disturb the slumber of the Leviathan?" From the shadows emerged a fearsome beast, its scales shimmering like rubies and its eyes burning with premier rage. It was the legendary sea dragon, and it was the guardian of the heart of deep. With a mighty roar, the Leviathan charged, its massive jaws agape, but Kai was ready. He dodged the dragon's snapping jaws and plunged his harpoon into its side. The beast recoiled, thrashing wildly as it tried to dislodge the weapon. But Kai held him, his grip unwavering, despite the dragon's best efforts. Slowly, the dragon's movements became more sluggish, with Rose turning into pained whimpers. With a final surge of strength, Kai pulled the harpoon free and watched the Leviathan collapse into the murky depths. The water cleared. In the distance, he saw a familiar figure rise to the surface. It was the woman from the labyrinth. And she wasn't a princess, but a queen. Her regal bearing and gentle eyes betrayed her true identity. Kai had found Queen Nerissa, and in her he saw the answer to all his questions. As she approached, the crown on his head began to glow brightly, bathing her face in an ethereal light. The moment their eyes met, the crown burst into a blinding flash, releasing a surge of magic that washed over the queen. The transformation was instantaneous. The dragon scales fell away, revealing smooth, flawless skin. Her flowing hair returned to its vibrant gold, and her eyes regained their sparkling brilliance, free at last from the curse that had twisted her form and imprisoned her people. Nerissa turned to Kai, her gaze filled with gratitude. "You have restored Aqualet and saved us from eternal torment," she said, her voice ringing with newfound power. "For this we shall be eternally indebted to you." She offered him a place by her side, promising him untold riches and power, but Kai knew his place was with his people. He declined her offer, explaining that his duty lay with those who had welcomed him as one of their own. Nerissa understood, and Kai returned to his village, greeted by cheers and celebration. The people of the coastal village celebrated their savior, hailing him as a hero, but Kai knew it was really Nerissa and her people that deserved the praise. As he sailed away from Aqualet, he wondered what other mysteries lay hidden beneath the waves. Deep beneath the waves, in a cave of black coral, something stirred. A second crown, deeper and more powerful than the first. Its presence a malevolent force stirring in the depths, waiting for its time to rise again.
And so Kai returned home a hero. But deep beneath the waves, the ocean still held secrets waiting to rise. What do you think will happen when the second crown awakens? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your theories. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you won't miss the next adventure. This is Viral Tale Lab, where history, legends, and epic tales come alive. Until next time, keep your imagination sailing.